Hey, good morning, everybody. Before we give the official welcome to the press conference, if you guys want to go ahead and check levels, everybody looking okay on the levels for your mics? All right, I'm getting thumbs up all over the place, so looks like we're good. Danielle, you good? You good with? Okay, checking the level. And I don't know why we always say test 1, 2. There's got to be something else we can say. Okay. Before we get started, just a couple of things I want to share with you in the packets that I handed out. First of all, in the packet, you're going to find some highlighted individuals. And the reason I highlighted this is because the Alamance County Sheriff's Office made the initial charge, but in some cases we found people who were wanted, and we found that they were wanted out of county. For instance, Guilford County, Greensboro Police Department. So when I send you the warrants in a digital form, you'll see that on there as well. So when you see a highlighted area, for instance, on number 16, individual number 16, this individual was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor prostitution, but I've highlighted 1 count of misdemeanor failure to appear, and that was a previous charge by another agency. So those are the kind of things I'm talking about. There's also an individual in here towards the very, towards the back, number 24, Ms. Dyer. When I send you the warrants, I think there are about 3 warrants on her, but they all have different addresses on it. So the warrant administered by the Alamance County Sheriff's Office has what her last known address is as Hemp Hill Road in Julian. The point is every address that is in this packet that I have typed is the last known address. So go with that. Despite what the warrant says, go with what you see on this sheet. Okay? Everybody down with that? And on the very last page, I chose to abbreviate some of the charges, so I put a real quick definition for you: F, felony; M, misdemeanor; and C is citation. We have 1 person that was basically written a ticket. Okay, everybody good with that? And so all the levels are good now, right? Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Alamance County Sheriff's Office press conference. This morning, we will share with you the results of Operation End of Summer. This operation is an ongoing effort to investigate, identify, and apprehend those individuals suspected of human trafficking, specifically through prostitution. The Alamance County Sheriff's Office would like to say thank you to our partners from Homeland Security. Today, representing Homeland Security is Agent Corey Bryant. From the Mebane Police Department, who also assisted, Officer Paul Davis. The Burlington Police Department assisted, along with the Winston-Salem Police Department, along with the State Bureau of Investigation, represented today by John Long. So we appreciate their help in this effort, and especially for these gentlemen being here. And also, I'd like to recognize our officers here with the Alamance County Sheriff's Office that kind of coordinated this and pulled it all together. At this time, let me present the Sheriff of Alamance County, Terry Johnson.
I'd like to welcome the media to Alamance County. For some time here in this county and the state of North Carolina, we've had a tremendous problem with prostitution and even human trafficking. North Carolina is ranked number 8 in the nation for human trafficking, and we're trying to do everything we possibly can to curb that statistic. And this particular operation was conducted by the individuals that Byron Tucker just stated. On September the 18th, 2019, a total of 14 individuals were arrested and charged with 14 charges of soliciting prostitution and 1 charge of resisting, obstructing, and delaying an officer. The second phase began, and the 18th was for the Johns, guys that were, or people that were soliciting the prostitutes. On September the 19th, 2019, a total of 14 individuals were arrested and charged with 9 charges of prostitution, 1 failure to appear, 1 misdemeanor possession of marijuana, 1 felony breaking, entering, and one felony of obtaining property by false pretense, one misdemeanor of trespassing, one aiding and abetting prostitution, one failure to appear, another resist, obstruct, and delay an officer, 2 probation violations, and we were able to find one missing person who was on the run for warrants from another county. So what I'm saying, a total of 28 individuals were arrested here in Alamance County in a 2-day process. And this was just a drop in the bucket of what could be caught, but we had to end those operations because it is manpower. It takes a lot of manpower to do these particular operations. A lot of people have asked me, Sheriff, why? Why are you working on prostitutes, which basically is a misdemeanor charge, or John's is just misdemeanor charge? Every bit of this has a lot to do with the human trafficking industry in our state and our nation. Also, prostitutes are the highest risk group in our society to be victims of violence, rape, HIV, sexually transmitted diseases, drug and alcohol abuse. There's a very high mortality rate also for those individuals that are involved in prostitution. We, as law enforcement, should take all these things in consideration to try to curb this particular industry. Sex trafficking is straight up pimping. 99% of all prostitutes have a pimp. And those individuals is the one that is providing the drugs and running these young ladies' lives and making them victims of a crime also. Prostitution is the 3rd most lucrative, profitable crime in our nation, only second to drugs and firearms trafficking. And the other 2 play a part into the prostitution and human trafficking. I did some research. A study conducted in Canada showed women in prostitution have a mortality rate 40 times higher than women in the general population. We owe it to all the people in this county, state, and nation to do everything we can to protect our people. Prostitution is a global problem. It's just not common here in Alamance County. Here in Alamance County, it is a tremendous problem, which creates other crimes and helps enhance the human trafficking industry. North Carolina, like I said, is number 8 in the nation. What a reputation to have. People say, well, why North Carolina? Well, we have our ports, we have our interstate highways, we have a lot of things that makes it conducive to the human traffic industry right here in North Carolina. As sheriff, we can no longer stand and watch this happen in our communities here in Alamance County, and we are not going to stand and watch it happen. Regardless of what anybody says about misdemeanors, about prostitution, the victim should be able to do what they want to, that's not going to make it here in Alamance County. We are going to continue to enforce the laws on the books, and I would love to see the laws involving prostitution, especially soliciting prostitutes, become a felony in this state and this nation. If we can curb the demand, we can surely curb the supply. I want to thank our partners tremendously. Like I say, it takes a lot of manpower to do these operations, and certainly Homeland Security, SBI, and Mevin, we're all concerned about the human trafficking industry and also the prostitution industry that's going on in our county and affecting our county and our state and our community. I would rather not go into that aspect because, believe me, there's going to be more operations happening, but it was not hard. It's amazing. A lot of these people, some come as far as Winston, Greensboro, and a lot right here in Alamance County. That tells you basically exactly the magnitude of the problem. And we shut the operations down at a certain time, but there were still people biting, wanting to hook up. And I hope you'll put this on there. We're going to give them an opportunity to hook up if they want to come to Alamance County, because I am fed up with it here, and our officers are too, departments. That's why you see us all here today. The state of North Carolina is number 8 in the nation. we need to look at these crimes more serious than what we're looking at them right now. And that's why we're going to continue to do these operations in Alamance County till the law's changed or somebody says, hey, we have a major problem. As I said a minute ago, sex trafficking is straight up pimping. And yes, I'll guarantee you every one of these individuals probably has someone that they're working for. And the sad thing is, these individuals that are working for a pimp, all they get is maybe a little bit of drugs to service 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 men a day, are beaten if they don't. That is the sad part about prostitution and human trafficking. If these individuals want to get out of the human trafficking industry or prostitution, Courtney Dunkerton, who works with, what's the, I can't think of the name of the... Crossroads. She works to find these ladies. Project Hope that they do, that we can help those ladies or even guys that are forced into prostitution get out of prostitution. The biggest problem I see in this nation right now is these individuals, when they get out or want to get out, there's no resources for them to get out. This is a resource for these individuals. And what happens if they want out, they come out a while and then they have to go right back into it because they have no place to stay, no money, no place to eat, so they go right back into the prostitution industry. This particular operation was done on September the 18th and 19th. We had a previous operation where we arrested several people. 14th of September.
No, it's 14 individuals.
Oh, yeah, but what was the date? You remember? August. 14 individuals were arrested there. And once again, it didn't take much effort. So that tells you that there is a major problem in that particular industry here. Well, certainly the interstate, 85 and 40, certainly don't help us any. That's why we have a lot of drugs dropped off here, prostitution. And 2, we are between the big city of Durham, big city of Greensboro and Winston, and believe it or not, the manpower that our agencies have is really not enough to deal with some of these issues, but our people are stepping up to the plate along with these agencies and trying to make a difference. A lot of you truck drivers that are traveling, I won't say a lot of them, there's some good truck drivers, but some of them try to solicit prostitutes at these truck stops at different places. Now with the, I guess you say, technology industry, they can connect and meet, etc. And they do. I mean, it's, the ages, is a big variance in ages, even the jobs that they hold. So it's not any common denominator as far as that. I honestly believe if we wanted to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not get made on what we're doing, we could catch a ton. I don't think that the time of year or day has anything to do with it. At least it hadn't shown to us that.
What's next?
More arrests, I hope, down the road. And we are certainly looking at interviewing these girls, already have, trying to find out about human trafficking. Anything we can find out about this particular industry, we're trying to do that. I think you will need to talk to our district attorney on that, and like I say, anybody that wants to get out of this particular behavior, Crossroads and Courtney Dunkerton would be glad to help them. Certainly, we need more resources to be able to give to these, if they're human trafficking victims, where they can get back on their feet and be viable back in our society. We have had, I'd have to go back, I know of 2 or 3 cases that we've had human traffic. Some were tried in federal court in Winston-Salem. I can't speak for some of the other departments. Let me just say this, we will be doing another operation down the road. And that's all I want to say, because you go telling people where you're going to do operations and stuff like that, they'll be very scary to bite. I can tell you there was one situation where the male individual showed up for prostitution, didn't bring $1, and sort of cornered our undercover officer in the room, and we were able to go in to make the arrest. But I assure you, they probably, not saying I know for sure, but I would say 95% sure, had it not been an undercover operation, that lady would have been raped, and never. And see, once a prostitute's raped, 99% of the time they're not going to report it because they were prostituting. Thank you, media, and please help us get the word out. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. And if not, we're going to continue the efforts, working with our partners beside me in trying to arrest as many people as we can that is continually defying the laws of our land involving human trafficking and prostitution. Thank you.